Hey, curious minds. Welcome back to EverCurious, where we dig into the coolest discoveries that show us how big, weird, and wonderful our world really is. Today, imagine stumbling upon a statue 8 meters high of an ancient ruler thought to be a god king. Well, that's exactly what happened. We're talking about the giant statue of Pharaoh Ramses II that was found in Egypt. So sit back, grab a drink, and let's get curious.
EverCurious, learn what you love.
So, what exactly was found? Picture this. Archaeologists are working in a suburb of Cairo, in the area of the ancient city of Heliopolis, now a district called Mataria. They're not in the desert. They're in a bustling urban environment. And there, submerged in groundwater and rubble, they unearth a colossal statue, approximately 8 meters, that's about 26 feet, tall. It's made of quartzite, and the prevailing belief is that it represents none other than Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great, who ruled ancient Egypt nearly 3,500 years ago. Now, why is this such a massive deal? For starters, finding a statue this big in this kind of condition, buried under a modern city, is incredibly rare. It's a direct window into how ancient Egyptians viewed their pharaohs, not just as leaders, but as gods walking among mortals. It's a message frozen in stone, and we're just now getting to read it. Okay, let's do a quick history refresher on the man himself. Who was Ramses II? He's one of the most famous pharaohs in history for a reason. His reign lasted an incredible 66 years, and during that time, he went on a building spree. We're talking massive monuments, grand temples like the famous Abu Simbel, all designed to project his image as a living god king. So, finding a huge statue of him isn't just a cool artifact. It's a statement from the past, a powerful declaration of authority, religion, and identity. It's how this ruler wanted to be seen for all eternity. This raises a fascinating question. Was this statue just a portrait of the king, or was it meant to represent his godly role? This is where things get really interesting. While the media often labels it the statue of Ramses II, some scholars believe it's more complex than that. A statue of this sheer size likely symbolized the pharaoh's divine status, or his connection to the gods. Remember, in ancient Egypt, the king was considered a god on earth. The location is a huge clue. It was found near the site of ancient Heliopolis, which was the main religious center dedicated to the sun god, Ra. So, the theory is that this statue was a piece of religious propaganda. It wasn't just saying, "I am the king." It was screaming, "I am divine. I stand with the gods." The immense 8-meter height reinforces that message loud and clear. Look how big I am. Look what I represent. It brings to mind that famous line from the poem Ozymandias, "Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair." That perfectly captures the kind of monumental ego and power we're talking about here. Now, let's dig into the story of the excavation itself. This wasn't some remote desert dig. The statue fragments were pulled from a muddy pit in Mataria, a working-class suburb of Cairo. Imagine the scene. A German-Egyptian team battling groundwater, shifting rubble, and modern infrastructure to carefully unearth these ancient pieces. They first found the upper parts, the head, the crown, the torso, and from there, they estimated the full height. The challenges were immense. Why did such a massive statue remain lost for 3,000 years right under everyone's noses? Because over the centuries, ancient stones were often repurposed for new buildings, and the city grew layer by layer on top of its own history. This find is a testament to the perseverance of modern archaeologists, and it's so important because it helps fill in the gaps in our knowledge of ancient temple layouts, the cult of the pharaoh, and how these incredible monuments were placed to create a sacred landscape. The team is now working on cleaning and restoration, trying to piece it all back together. So, a big statue is found. What does it actually tell us? First, the scale of power. Creating an 8-meter-tall statue required enormous resources: quarrying and transporting massive blocks of stone, a huge labor force, and meticulous planning. It's a clear demonstration of how crucial image and power were to a pharaoh's reign. Second, divine kingship. This isn't just a portrait, it's an amplifier. In ancient Egypt, the pharaoh was the bridge between the mortal and divine realms. A giant statue like this makes that connection tangible, turning an abstract belief into a towering reality that would have awed anyone who saw it. Third, it highlights the importance of urban archaeology. It's a powerful reminder that history isn't just in far-off deserts. The past is literally under our feet, buried beneath our cities, our roads, and our homes. It shows that ancient layers are waiting to be uncovered even in the most modern of landscapes. And finally, cultural memory. Discoveries like this reinvigorate public interest in our shared heritage. They attract tourism, create jobs, and remind us all of our place in the long, incredible story of humanity. And of course, it sparks that essential question we love to ask here. Wow, what else is buried out there? Naturally, every great discovery opens up a whole new set of questions. For instance, is the statue definitely Ramses II? Without a clear inscription on the found pieces, there's still a small degree of uncertainty. How complete is it really? The 8-meter estimate is based on the fragments found so far, but parts of the lower body or base could still be missing. And how was it originally displayed? Was it inside a temple? Standing guard outside? Part of a grand avenue of statues? Its original placement would tell us so much about the message it was meant to convey. And what happens now? Will it be fully restored? Where will it eventually be displayed for the world to see? As the research continues, archaeologists might find more inscriptions, tool marks, or related artifacts that give us more context. For you and me, being curious means we get to watch, learn, and maybe even one day visit these incredible sites. So if you ever find yourself in Cairo, take a moment in Materia and just imagine what lies beneath your feet. All right, curious minds, here's the takeaway. A giant 8-meter-tall statue of one of history's most famous pharaohs was found in a modern Cairo suburb, reminding us that history is all around us, under our feet, and still being discovered. If you enjoyed this dive into the ancient world, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next curious adventure. And here's a question for you. If you could uncover one thing from the ancient world, what would it be? And where would you look? Drop your answer down in the comments. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.